The View hints towards Trump's secret sexuality, gets nasty reality check seconds later. The liberal hosts of The View have embarrassed themselves more times than they can count. Unfortunately, it seems that they still haven't learned their lesson, as they most recently made a few remarks on President Donald Trump's secret sexuality, but that's about the time things blew up in their faces as they got a nasty reality check just a few seconds later. Mad World News has reported on The View many times, as the leftist hosts have made it abundantly clear where they stand when it comes to Trump and have provided plenty of material to show their ignorance and bias. They've also made it a habit of making complete and utter fools of themselves as they let their blinding hatred get in the way of the truth and common sense. Although they've experienced their fair share of spankings on live television, it seems that some people actually still tune into the show as an actual source of news. Too bad for The View's hosts. It seems that they may have overstepped their bounds when it comes to the constant attacks and unfounded accusations. In fact, it looks like even regular viewers of the program are growing tired of the hosts' nonsense, and they prove that most recently. As it turns out, host Joy Behar found it appropriate to make a nasty remark about Trump's secret sexuality, but things didn't turn out the way she had apparently anticipated. See, when Putin shook hands with Trump, he did this. This is Putin's hand on top, Behar said, holding co-host Sunny Hostin's hand to demonstrate to the audience. So, Trump is on bottom. Get it? However, that's about the time she got a nasty reality check as, within mere seconds, the audience could be heard groaning with disapproval. Of course, after hearing that she had lost her loyal audience, she tried to backpedal by suggesting that she didn't mean it in such a vulgar way. What? He was on the bottom, she said. That's all. The women of The View went on to criticize Trump for discussing the possibility of Russia helping the U.S. on a cybersecurity task force, which Trump later said wouldn't happen. He doesn't want to admit it, they've got him by the short hairs. It's so obvious, Behar added. Source, Review. Sadly, The View has been banging this Russian drum since the first time they heard it in order to help make an excuse for their beloved Hillary Clinton's loss. Despite having virtually no evidence to speak of, all we've heard is how Trump doesn't belong in office, even though he was rightfully voted into his position. When it comes down to it, morons like Joy Behar think they have a legitimate issue, but they don't. Of course, people are going to try to influence elections in order to benefit themselves personally. You'd have to be a moron to believe that doesn't happen. However, the biggest reality that makes idiots like Behar look even dumber is the fact that they remain silent, as former President Barack Obama was exposed to have done this exact thing. According to the Washington Times, Obama sent millions of taxpayer dollars, mind you, to interfere with Israel's elections in hopes of ousting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Of course, it was crickets from Behar when that happened. Look, it's fine to be mad, but you need to be fair and honest. You can't just pick and choose when to express outrage because it's convenient. Outrage shouldn't be one-sided depending on political affiliation. Address and be angry with it all. Just attacking one person for one occurrence only makes the left look like the idiots that they really are, and yes, we're talking about the morons running The View.